Welcome. Well, I am excited to be here with Joe, and Joe has graciously offered to give his testimonial for 5 days to ignite your love light. And Joe, I'm just going to start by asking, what drew you to purchasing the course and enrolling?
Yeah, it was sort of a funny synchronicity of time because I had just finished one of your other courses, and this one popped out, and at first I wasn't sure because I'm not relationship focused at this point in my life. I'm more self focused at the moment. But then as I was reading through one of the descriptions, it talks about that it's not about finding a person to make you whole kind of thing, but it's more about discovering your own inner love and that light that way, which then radiates out and draws in whomever is being invited into relationship that way. And so when I saw that, I was like, yes, because that's so much of where life is at right now for me, is it's seeking to cultivate in my own inner world and my own self-love and development that way, but also knowing that there is a desire for relationship when it's right. And so wanting to make sure that when it's right, I'm right and ready for that. Just so I don't end up doing another round of not doing relationship well. We'll just put it that way.
That's a good way to put it. What would you say were some of your takeaways from the course?
There were a bunch of them. I think part of it was the whole idea of sort of the what does my ideal partner look like kind of thing, but there's an understanding in that of who am I and where am I rooted in my life. And so there were things like that revolved around my own body image and body sense and felt personhood and how do I interact with this ideal partner in that sense? How does that ideal partner reinforce some of the challenges I have with my body image, and the fact that I'm the tall, skinny, nerdy kid growing up that was constantly picked on and felt physically weak and wasn't happy in my body, and I do a lot of stuff now as far as activity and endurance racing and stuff like that to sort of reinforce my sense of body and self and power and strength and feeling good in my body. But how could a potential partner accentuate that? There was also elements of I'm still a nerdy, academic-y, intellectual kind of dude, and so how does that play into, do I need a partner that I can sit down and have deep philosophical conversations about theology and philosophy and psychology? Or do I just need somebody who supports and celebrates me in that process, and can listen and give me creative space to go into my world where I drop into my world for 5-6 hours at a time and I'm just immersed in research, but then I can pop out and engage and share with this person. And then things like just sharing love for other people. So it was sort of what might this person look like down the road? And then how can I cultivate some of those own things in myself and celebrate some of those things in myself now? And so I'm actually building my life around those patterns and ideas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad that's what you took away from it. Would you say there was a particular lesson or activity that stood out in your mind that that might have been your favorite?
I mean, I think there was a lot of the writing stuff that flowed out, but the shamanatrix ended up that the shaman journey that way just blew me away. And I've always valued things like EMDR and some of those journeys, or vision journeys, or spaces where you go into a meditative or hypnosis space and sort of process through some stuff. But that particular one with her was really potent, and it sort of took everything that was happening and it just sort of sucked it all in together. And it all sort of expanded and resonated out of it, and it was sort of like, all right, I feel like this is the path forward from this place that I'm at. And so for me, it was finding myself moving into my heart and feeling comfortable in my own heart, and my heart being my own home, and allowing myself to be seen, but also creating this space that feels home within myself that I can invite someone into at deeper levels than what is publicly seen.
Sure.
And inviting into rooms that aren't necessarily visible from the outside, although there's still visibility for the world, into a heart that feels like home.
Yeah. Thank you. And my last question would just be, if someone were thinking about taking the course and they were on the fence about it, what guidance might you offer them?
I think it comes down to, if you are in a space of, if you've been seeking the right person kind of thing, and obsessively sort of seeking the right person, this is an ideal course because it doesn't center on the right person. I mean, ultimately, it theoretically gets to that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that ultimately is the end that way, but it sets you up so you're ready for the right person. And so it's a different angle that way. So it's an invitation to rethink what it might look like to find the right person.
Yes. Oh, I love that's what you got. Thank you so much for offering your testimonial. I deeply appreciate that.
Absolutely.